Welcome to She Got Game, a celebration of women in gaming. I am Teyana Watson. I am a multi-platform production major and a member of Morgan State University Esports program and streamer. This will be our last She Got Game, a celebration of women in gaming conversation for the semester, where we highlight phenomenal women who are doing amazing things in the gaming industry and provide information on many ways that people can enter into the gaming industry. Be sure to visit our MSU Bears Esports YouTube channel and watch our past conversations in the series. Now it's time to talk to this week's guest. Please meet the co-owner of XSET and multimedia personality, Miss Erin Ashley Simon.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good. Got my breakfast and my coffee, so I feel pretty solid right now.
Yes, we love breakfast. Best meal of the day. For the people that aren't familiar with you, who are you and what do you do?
Oh man, so it's so funny when I get this question because when I think about it, I do a lot. Well, for those who don't know, my name is Erin Ashley Simon. As was mentioned, I'm a co-owner of XSET, but I'm also a broadcaster in the esports and gaming space, and that's my main job. And then my secondary job is being a co-owner. And I'm just someone who's always been very passionate about gaming and diversity inclusion and entertainment. And over time, I've been able to find a way to just combine all these different passions together in a way that I feel like is fun for me. It's also a very fruitful experience as well. So that's kind of I guess the best way to describe it. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm just Erin and I'm me and I'm just living out my dreams and my passions.
I feel like the best thing is to do what you love and have it not being a job. So I love that for you. I really do. Okay. So you have a rich history in broadcasting. Was there anyone you looked up to in media when you were growing up?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, one of the people I looked up to is my mentor. He's been my mentor for over 10 years. He actually started mentoring me when I was 17, and now I'm 30, so it's been a long time. Mike Hill, he has done broadcasting work for ESPN and Fox Sports and others, and it was around the time when Facebook really was starting to build up, and I think I finally realized oh wow, I can actually connect with some of these professionals and reach out to them and ask for advice and questions and stuff like that, and so I did. And yeah, so he was someone who really helped guided me because at first I was not even pursuing a broadcast career. I was doing traditional journalism and I was taking a different route in media. And it was through his mentorship, and he also helped to connect me with certain people who also mentored me. It was through him that actually Jamel Hill was someone who also had mentored me during college. And the experience that I got from all of them is really what has helped me kind of get to where I am now. So I really look up to him in terms of how he's been able to navigate in the media space as a broadcaster, finding his own voice, standing up and speaking up for what he thinks is right. A lot of it is what has been instilled in me. And even now I go to him being a public figure, it's fun, it's nice, but there's also a lot of bad stuff that comes with it. There's also a lot of people who have more access to you. So he's been someone who's been able to help me navigate some of these moments because you're never really fully prepared for it until you actually go through it. So he's someone I've been looking up to my entire career.
Yeah, that's dope. At least you have someone to look up to and someone that kind of showed you the ropes of everything and helped you swim your way through everything. What is your favorite thing about being a broadcaster?
I think my favorite thing about being a broadcaster is the ability to tell stories. It's my job to help bring to light stories and people and important matters or fun and entertainment kind of conversations, and to be able to be I like to say to be the conductor of those experiences of really working hard to bring out so many different stories and sides of people. I think sometimes even I'm really kind of surprised in myself when I learn something about someone that I know that I end up interviewing or a friend, or anything like that. And so it's really cool to be able to constantly learn from others. And I think the what I've experienced as a broadcaster, it's kind of an amazing experience because I feel like I'm more accepting of others. I am more understanding. I've changed as a person just from my experience of hosting and broadcasting. And so it's also has made me, interesting enough, it's also has given me confidence, a lot more confidence. I had like a base level of confidence, but it's kind of elevated a lot more because if you think about it, it's a broadcasting can be a very vulnerable kind of career. Like your life is out there, you're out there. People can judge you on anything and everything. And it's really taught me how to just be myself. And whether someone accepts it or not, like that's kind of on them. But if I'm able to fully be myself in my work, it's going to encourage others to be themselves. And then on top of it too, I'm an Afro-Latina, and growing up, there wasn't that many people who looked like me. I think one of the very few people like I can think of right away from a broadcasting standpoint was Lala. But aside from that, like there's no one like me in gaming and also in certain avenues of entertainment. And so to have that responsibility, and which I'm very happy to have, to be the representation that I wish I had growing up and to be the role model that I wish I had growing up, I think for me, it makes the broadcasting career and just that whole experience even more fruitful. And that's something that I really enjoy about it.
When it comes down to it, what would you tell someone that is Afro-Latina or someone that looks like you or someone in like the younger age that looks like you? What would you tell them to like boost their confidence to go for it and just do it?
I would say to boost your confidence, it starts with you being grounded in yourself. Like you have to be okay with yourself. Because like I said, it's a career that it's a pretty vulnerable career. Like anyone can say anything about you just because they see you, right? Like so you have to learn how to accept yourself and be happy with yourself and not use this career as a way to fill a void in yourself. It's more so that like it's something that should add on to your happiness. And the more that you are firm in yourself and the more that you're happier with yourself, the more that you are going to feel more fulfilled in your career. There's a saying that someone said to me before, is that if you chase success, you're always going to be unfulfilled. You're never going to be satisfied because success is a result of it's a result of the work that you put in. It's a result of your happiness. And then if you make everything so result driven based upon your happiness, you're never going to truly be happy. So it's, if you're going to really get into this career, like I always tell people, if you could never make money from it, would you still be happy? Like if you would never make a dime and you would do this, would you still be happy in doing it? And if so, go for it. And understand there's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations because like I said, you're very public facing, but it's also a really fun and really cool experience. You get to meet a lot of really cool people and you can really pave your own path now. The traditional media route is not the same that it used to be before. And you could really go from, I like a lot of people don't know, I went from doing just a podcast. Like I was just filming myself doing a podcast. And now I'm doing broadcasting for TV. Of course, I got trained in between, but it just shows you that the possibilities are there's no limits to it. And that if you really want to do this, you got to give it 110% and just go in and understand you're going to have to adapt and change and navigate as you go.
What would you consider your superpower to be? Meaning that what's one thing that comes naturally to you that you are often better than others at doing?
I think my superpower is I have the ability to make people feel comfortable and open up. And I don't think everyone has that ability. My empathetic side, and I would even say the kindness that I exude, it really comes from, like I said, it comes from a very secure place. So for me, even when I'm working with people, I never view others as like competition. Like I genuinely like to meet new people. I genuinely like to learn new things. I know it's very cliche to say, but like one of my passions is like I love to learn something new every single day. Like I always will look up something or read an article or try to learn something new. And that ability for me to take information in and to take these things in has made me better connect with people. And I've always been the person who, like in high school and even in college, could sit at anyone's table and easily make friends with all of them. And so that's always been my superpower. And that's been a superpower in my personal life. It's been a superpower in my business and work life. And it's something that I feel, like I said, not that many people have in a very organic way. I think sometimes people have to, they work to try to make people feel comfortable. But I feel like my power is I am genuinely someone who can easily make people feel comfortable and not feel judged and just feel like they can be themselves. And I think that's one of the greatest superpowers that any human being can have.
I agree. That is actually um, being able to, especially in your field, being able to just talk to anybody and have them talk back to you and not have to like reach and like have awkwardness. That's that's amazing. What is XSET and what is the vision that you have for your company?
So XSET is a lifestyle and gaming organization. We actually we don't really like to call ourselves an esports org. We feel like we're doing more than just that. So, when it comes to this company and our goals and objectives is that we are very much trying to create, um, my friend who's also my colleague, Clinton Sparks, he likes to always call it the culture hub. Like we're trying to create this environment of course, diversity and inclusion, which is at the core of our company, but also show people that everyone and anyone can enjoy gaming. Everyone and anyone can enjoy these kind of adjacent passions that are interconnected with gaming. And that the average gamer is not like this stereotypical person who's in the basement of their parents' place. Like, that is out the door. Like, whoever thinks that now is just out of their minds, to be honest. And we're trying to show that, like, gamers can come in all walks of life and have other different passions. Like gamers can also love hip hop. They can also love sports. Like it's not just a one-dimensional viewpoint. And so, of course, we want to be one of a very successful tier 1 organization, which we are getting towards that point. And we really want to make an impact culturally, business wise, and so forth. And so we really try to show people that you could be inclusive, competitive, and also have really good human beings in your organization and still be successful. I think there's sometimes such a disconnect with that. And because there's been some various things that need to change in the industry that we're just trying to change through action and what we can highlight and provide through our company. Especially when it comes to supporting and highlighting LGBTQ plus community, the Black community, Latin community, and various different underserved communities. We're very very front facing with that. Like that's something that we make very clear that we're trying to elevate and support and highlight a lot more, because we feel like other organizations and other companies aren't really doing that. Even though if you look at the data and information, the Black community and Latin community are actually some of the biggest percentage of gamers in the world. So, but why is it that they're not really? Why is it that my community and our communities are not a focal point? And especially when it comes to creating more access for those individuals to come into the industry, to become more game developers, to be, just get into the space overall. It's a very small percentage of us in this space. Yet, if you look at just the overall cultural impact, we determine the culture. Like, to be very frank and honest, like Black culture determines culture in the US. And so that's why, we're really trying to focus and highlight and really support various different underserved communities and really show that you can give back and be very successful. So we've only been around for about like 2 years and some change. But it's been really exciting to see just the overall change and impact that we've been making, whether it's with our talent, in the industry and so on.
Yes, Diversity, we love it.
Yeah. Can't say no to that. Yeah.
You spoke about culture. So, how do you stay tapped into what's popular within culture?
Well, I mean, it's so easy to be tapped in when you, like I said, are the culture. And it's easy to stay tapped in when you engage, like when these kind of intersectional points are already your passion. Like music is my like I love music. I love music, I love sports, I love gaming. And those are the three most influential industries when it comes to culture. So it's something that I live and breathe already. And I don't feel like, it never feels like I have to like force myself to stay up to date with everything when it's like, this is already something that like I'm already passionate about. So it's been an easy transition, but of course, from a business perspective, I always have to like tune in a little bit more. I'm always reading articles. I'm seeing what's online. I engage with the communities too. Like I take time to actually get to know people in different communities. So, for example, in the esports world, I really took time to learn about like the fighting game community. I really took time to learn about, um, you know, those who are first person shooter fans. Like really taking the time to learn about each and every one, learning about what are some of the obstacles, what are some of the great things about the communities, learning even I also am someone who's very inquisitive, so I like to learn about the behind the scenes work. So that's actually how I learned about how like the music industry works. Talking to my friends who are game developers and all that stuff, I really learned how like games are made and stuff like that. And so because I have a very inquisitive nature and I love learning, I've been able to really stay in tune with just everything and really know how things work. I've never been a person who just talks just to talk. Like I always find it fascinating how social media sometimes encourages that. But like I'm someone who like if there's something I don't know, I will say I don't know and I will go find out. And so that's been something that's helped me with really staying up to date with everything, so that I can put out the best work that I can. And also as a host, I need to know what's going on because I don't know if I'm going to do a gaming show or a entertainment show, like a music show. So I have to stay at least base level up to date with everything.
I laughed when you said social media encourages people just to talk, and it's not. That's the truth. Like people just talk just to hear themselves talk nowadays. Um, yeah. But recently, you were signed as a brand ambassador by Puma. What are some tips for individuals or programs who want to establish partnerships from major brands?
So if you want to establish partnerships with major brands, like you really have to understand who you are. If you can't understand who you are, and I'm not even saying as a creator or pro player or anything, like you have to really understand who you are as a person. Because then you like there are specific values and things that companies look for in their creators. And if you cannot communicate that, then you cannot sell yourself. So if you don't know yourself, you can't market yourself. And of course, you're going to change. Like even now, I'm going through a period right now where it's like I'm 30. I'm not the same person as I was when I was in my mid 20s, and now even I'm shifting in terms of like, okay, who is Erin? My agent likes to call me. He likes to say that this phase of my career is Erin 3.0, and he jokes about 3.0 and you're 30, huh? But it's true though. Like you're gonna evolve and adapt, so you have to really understand who you are and take the time to assess and understand who you are, and be able to convey like what are your values, what are your morals, where do you want to go, what are your goals, what are your objectives, how do you even what are your weaknesses. You also have to understand what your weaknesses are too, because then you can communicate to that company how they can help build you up, because it's a mutually beneficial relationship. You have the talent who is either the person who's the amplifier or they're the intentional influencers. So they're the ones that influence other influencers, which is what I am. Or, you have to understand like those strengths, but then like, what are your weaknesses? Are your weaknesses your numbers, visibility? Like, is that something they can help elevate? So when you really take the time to look at yourself fully and look in the mirror and really understand what you want and who you are, it's so much easier to convey to these companies why they should work with you or why they should collab with you, because it is a partnership at the end of the day. It's a contractual partnership. So that is probably the most important thing is like really take the time to just figure out like who you are and what you want to do. And also understand like you have to be great at one thing before you can be great at many things. Like if you're great at many things at first, it's going to confuse too many people. Like you really need to be known or great at one thing and then build upon and evolve from there. I think a lot of times people maybe like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. It's like, great, but start with one lane so then people can see, okay, they're really great at one lane, they're consistent at one lane, and then build from there. So like for me, I'm known as a broadcaster in entertainment and gaming, but like that's not the only thing I am. I'm a company owner. I consult. Like I do more than that. So that's probably the best advice that I can give to those who are interested in potentially like working with such brands or working with any brands for their career or their passion.
I understand completely when it comes down to having multiple things you're getting at. A friend explained it to me as an axe. Like you have to have a focal point that'll get you into where you want to go, and then you can kind of expand. But yeah, that's actually great advice. What is a skill? What is a skill set that people should learn if they want to be successful in the esports and gaming industry?
A skill, social skills. Um, it's so actually no. There's two parts. One is social skills. That's the one thing I've noticed. For even though young individuals are really good at social media, at the end of the day, you have to talk to people face to face and on the phone. And if you don't know how to hold a conversation, if you don't know how to confidently speak what you're good at, what you can do, and that goes back to like knowing who you are, right? Knowing your skills. If you cannot confidently speak that to someone, it's going to be harder for you to get opportunities. And you have to be able to be just as effective communicating in person or on the phone than on social media. And so really, like I always tell people, like take time to actually build these skills, build public speaking skills, build up, being able to confidently talk to someone. Even the simplest thing is like when you talk to someone, look them in the eye, and it's these different kind of social cues that you have to learn that I'll be honest, I from my experience, I feel like a lot of younger individuals lack that because we're in such a digital age, which is not a problem. I think it's goes back to the strengths and weaknesses. I think the younger generation is amazing when it comes to social media and building communities and content creation and driving conversation and utilizing social media for activism. I think it's amazing. But at the same time, I also think that a lot of the younger generation don't know how to speak, like don't know how to converse with people a lot face to face. And so really learning how to do public speaking and really learn how to have these social conversations and social cues. And I think another thing too with it is being consistent and practicing professionalism. I've been there. I'll be honest. There's only a handful of young individuals that I'm very impressed with and what made them stand out was that they were consistent, they were professional, they were on time, and I think that when we say professionalism, it's not like a suit and tie, right? Like I literally just put out a photo of me saying happy 420 where I accidentally got secondhand smoke interviewing Snoop Dogg because he was smoking in a whole building. Like, like people may look at that and be like, that's not professional, but like it is professional. I wasn't smoking. It was secondhand smoke. Like, but that shows you that like I'm professional, but like it's not about that. Professionalism is being on point, it's being consistent, it's being on time, it's being easy to work with and doing a great job. Like if you focus on those things, I'm telling you, you would get way more ahead of a lot of young individuals because that is something that most people have to learn as they get older. And not everyone has that at a young age. So if you really want to stand out and get in the industry, and if you literally just practice professionalism and being on time and consistent and doing a really great job, you're going to go be light years ahead of a lot of the individuals in the esports and gaming space just off of that, including with some adults. I'm not going to lie. Some adults aren't professional. So by having that, you actually stand out more.
As we conclude this interview, can you let everyone know what you and XSET have coming up and how people can connect with you online?
Yes. So you can connect with me online. It is at Erin A Simon, Erin, the letter A Simon. And you can, that's pretty much all for all social media. And then what we have coming up, I mean, we just did a collaboration with Interscope at Coachella. So we're going to have a lot more activations. We're going to do more content. We have some really great announcements coming up that I can't hint at. They're really big announcements, so I gotta keep it tight. But it's gonna be really cool. We also recently signed T Grizzly in his GTA server, which was a really cool experience. We had to role play our announcement, which is wild, but it was fun at the same time. So we're always finding unique ways to just express to kind of go after some of our specific goals and initiatives and stuff like that. So you're going to see a lot more of that, and then you can follow XSET at XSET. It's XSET. And yeah, I'm just really excited for you all to see what we have in store.
I'm excited to see what you guys have in store as well. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Simon. The Morgan State University Esports program is grateful for the jewels you have dropped on us today, and we're sending nothing but positivity your way as you pave the way for many more people to follow in your footsteps. Thank you all for watching this week's She Got Game, a celebration of women in gaming, conversation with the co-owner of XSET and multimedia personality, Miss Erin Ashley Simon. Stay up to date with the Morgan State University Esports program by following us at MSU Bears Esports on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Also subscribe to our YouTube page where you can watch a replay of our interview. You can also connect with me at Teyana Latrice, Teyana Letrice, on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. We look forward to you watching our future broadcasts, and be sure to protect the cave.